Hey everyone, welcome back for this year-end deep dive. As we usually look ahead at what's coming next year.
Right.
But this year,
Yeah.
we thought it'd be interesting to reflect back on 2024 instead.
Yeah, definitely. I
Yeah.
think that's a great idea.
And we're going to be using this piece called
Oh,
A
really?
Tapestry of 2024, Reflections and Hopes for the Future, to kind of guide our conversation.
I like that. Taking a moment to step back
Yeah.
and look at the big picture,
Right.
looking at the whole year instead of just charging ahead into the next one. I
Exactly.
think you can get a whole different perspective.
I love that idea of a tapestry.
Yeah.
It really captures the complexity and the interconnectedness of everything that happened this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious.
Okay.
I mean, is it really possible to look back on the year without focusing
Right.
only on the positive?
Uh.
Like, isn't that a bit of a sugar-coated view?
Oh, for sure. You can't just ignore the hard stuff.
Right.
The piece isn't suggesting that at all.
Okay.
It's more about recognizing that, any year has good and bad parts.
Yeah.
So 2024, it had its ups and downs.
Totally.
We saw some amazing advancements, like in technology and medicine, for example.
Uh-huh.
But we also had to deal with some really tough stuff.
Yeah.
Like those political crises and the natural disasters.
Right. And, I mean, you can't forget that global economic downturn back in the spring.
Oh, yeah, that was rough.
It really shook things up.
Absolutely.
So many people had to, rethink their entire careers and
Yeah.
priorities.
It was definitely a test of our resilience. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Those crucibles, as the source calls them,
Yeah.
they force us to dig deep and discover that inner strength that maybe we didn't even know we had.
That's a good point.
Yeah, think about it. Like, during that downturn,
Mm-hmm.
how did it challenge you to adapt?
Well, personally, I
Yeah.
had to completely change my freelance business model.
Wow.
Yeah. It was definitely scary at first,
I bet.
but it really pushed me to be
Yeah.
more creative. Okay. More resourceful in ways that I hadn't had to be before.
Uh-huh.
I learned I'm a lot more adaptable than I thought I was.
Yeah, I think those tough situations, they often bring out these hidden strengths and resourcefulness.
Absolutely.
And you know what? It's not just about surviving those hard times.
No.
It's about understanding our values better.
Yeah.
It's about realizing what we're really capable of.
That's a really empowering way to look at it, instead of getting bogged down in the negative.
Exactly.
The piece also talks about finding strength
Yeah.
in shared experiences,
Uh-huh.
especially during those times of uncertainty.
Right. It comes down to that basic human need for connection.
Yeah.
That feeling of belonging. When things are tough and you're not alone,
Totally.
it can make a huge difference.
I felt that so strongly this past summer during the wildfires.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. My entire community came together to support
Yeah.
the families who lost their homes.
That's incredible.
Yeah. It was amazing to see, even in the face of tragedy, there was this incredible sense of unity.
It's powerful, right? Those shared experiences, whether they're good or bad,
Mm-hmm.
they connect us. They
Yeah.
remind us that we're all in this together.
They really do.
Yeah.
Yeah. The source also uses this metaphor of a symphony to describe 2024,
Oh, interesting.
highlighting the harmony and the dissonance.
Yeah.
What if, instead of a tapestry,
Okay.
we thought of 2024 as more of a puzzle with missing pieces?
A puzzle. I like that.
Yeah. Or maybe like a choose-your-own-adventure book.
Mm-hmm.
It suggests that maybe there isn't just one narrative
Yeah.
or one predetermined outcome.
Okay.
It's like we're all contributing to
Yeah.
this big ongoing
Yeah.
composition.
I like that analogy. So
Yeah.
we're all part of this big composition.
Yeah.
And it's not always going to sound perfect.
Right.
Sometimes there are going to be clashes,
Exactly.
dissonance.
Yeah. So
Sad.
how do we make sense of that dissonance?
Well, maybe those are the parts that make the music interesting.
Okay.
The parts that challenge us to grow.
So instead of trying to force everything into perfect harmony,
Right.
we should embrace the complexities
Yeah.
and the contradictions.
I think that's where the source's emphasis on reflection comes in.
Okay.
It's about taking a step back,
Yeah.
observing
Right.
and learning from it all.
But how do we actually make time for reflection?
Well, there are tons of ways to do it.
Okay.
Even just taking a few minutes each day to write down your thoughts in a journal.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Or maybe going for a quiet walk in nature and just connecting with the rhythm of the world,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
if you're more of a social person,
Yeah.
you could even use conversations as a form of reflection.
oh, that's interesting.
Right.
Like talking it out.
Yeah, meaningful conversations with friends or family can be so valuable.
Yeah.
It's like when
Yeah.
we share and listen to each other,
Mm.
we get these new perspectives. We deepen our understanding of things.
It's like we're each contributing to a collective tapestry of experiences.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And through that sharing, we
Yeah.
start to see that even when things feel chaotic,
Right.
there's still beauty,
Yeah.
there's resilience, there's hope.
There's always hope.
Exactly.
So as we move into the new year,
Yeah.
it's not about pretending everything was perfect
Right.
or erasing the past.
Mm-hmm.
It's about learning from our experiences,
Absolutely.
both the good and the bad,
Yeah.
and using those lessons to guide our choices and actions moving forward.
And you know what? That leads perfectly into the source's focus on hope for the future.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, so the source talks about how important it is to approach the future with hope.
Uh-huh.
Not just like a naive optimism,
Right.
but a grounded sense of hope.
Mhm.
You know, acknowledging the challenges,
Yeah.
but still believing in our ability to create positive change.
Yeah, but isn't hope a bit fragile? Especially with so much uncertainty and division going on.
That's a good point.
How do we cultivate hope that's strong enough to weather all those storms?
Well, the source suggests
Yeah.
that true hope, it's not about just wishing for things to get better.
Okay.
It's about being actively involved.
So it's about doing something.
Exactly. It's about taking action,
Okay.
aligning our actions with our values.
So like figuring out what we want to see in the world
Yeah.
and then working towards it.
Exactly. Choosing courage over complacency, you know, compassion over apathy,
Yeah.
collaboration over competition.
I like that
Mm.
the piece talks about shared prosperity.
Yeah.
You know, creating a world where everyone has a chance to thrive.
Mm-hmm.
But how do we move beyond those feel-good slogans
Right.
and actually make that happen?
I think it starts with recognizing that
Yeah.
we're all interconnected.
Right.
Like when we work to ensure
Uh.
everyone has access to those basic necessities.
Like food and shelter.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Food, shelter, healthcare, education.
Okay.
You know, when we do that,
Yeah.
we're not just helping others.
Right.
We're building a better world for everyone.
So it's about more than just charity.
Right. It's about tackling the root causes of inequality and injustice.
Yeah. So it's systemic change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's about changing our mindset,
Okay.
shifting from that scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset.
Abundance.
Yeah, you know, believing that there's enough for everyone
I like that.
and recognizing that we all have something to contribute.
That's a really important point.
Mm-hmm.
The source also talks about celebrating
Okay.
both our successes
Yeah.
and our failures.
Uh-huh.
Isn't that a bit strange?
Well, think about it.
Yeah.
Failures can teach us valuable lessons.
Uh-huh.
They show us where we need to grow.
Like what our limitations are.
Yeah, exactly. When we embrace our failures,
Mm-hmm.
we create space for learning, innovation,
Okay.
and resilience.
So it's about turning those mistakes into opportunities.
Exactly. Remember that choose your own adventure analogy.
Yeah.
Sometimes we hit a dead end,
Yeah.
but those detours can help us find a better path.
That's true.
Right.
The source even suggests raising a toast
Yeah.
to both the triumphs and the setbacks of the past year.
I like that.
It's a way of acknowledging and releasing.
Yeah, rituals can be powerful.
Mm-hmm.
They help us process things and set intentions for the future.
Okay.
So when we raise a toast to both the good and the bad,
Yeah.
we're honoring the entire journey.
Even the messy parts.
Exactly.
So as we head into the new year,
Yeah.
it's not about erasing the past.
Right.
It's about carrying those experiences with us
Both the joys and the challenges.
Yeah.
And using them to fuel our growth.
to inspire us to keep moving forward.
And that brings us to the source's final message,
Okay.
which is a call to action.
A call to action.
Yeah, a call to step into the new year with open hearts
Mm-hmm.
and an unwavering belief in our collective power.
But what about those who are feeling burnt out
Right.
or disillusioned?
Yeah.
Like, how can they find the energy for that?
Well, I think that's where self-compassion comes in.
Okay.
It's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
We're not all starting from the same place.
Right. Some people are carrying heavier burdens than others.
Exactly.
So it's about finding a pace that works for you.
Yeah, honoring your own needs and limits and finding small ways to contribute.
Okay.
Like maybe volunteering,
Yeah.
supporting causes you care about,
Well,
or even just being kind to the people around you.
the little things.
Exactly. The source reminds us that even those small acts of kindness, courage,
Yeah.
compassion they can have a ripple effect
Yeah,
and make a difference in the world.
I love that.
It's like those threads in a tapestry,
Yeah.
each one contributing to the beauty and strength of the whole.
So we're all part of this interconnected web.
Exactly.
Our actions matter.
They do, even the
Yeah.
small ones.
The source ends by wishing for a year of growth, prosperity,
Yeah.
and fulfillment for everyone.
It's a good reminder
Yeah.
that when we create a better world,
Yeah,
it benefits all of us.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But, you know, the source also encourages us
Yeah.
to carry the lessons of 2024 forward. What if some lessons are meant to be left behind?
That's a good question.
How do we know which ones to hold on to?
Maybe the key is to hold them lightly,
Okay.
to let them shape us without defining us.
So finding that balance
Yeah.
between honoring the past
Uh-huh.
and embracing the future.
Exactly. We're all works in progress, right?
Right.
And each new year gives us a chance to start fresh.
To keep learning and growing. And that brings us to the big question.
Okay.
What are you most grateful for from 2024? And how will that guide you in the year ahead? Yeah, that really is something to think about. As we get ready for this new year, it reminds us that even with all the ups and downs, there are still those bright spots, those moments that lift us up. What comes to mind for you when you think back on your own experience of 2024?
You know, for me, it's the resilience I saw all around. The way people just keep going, even when things got really tough.
Yeah, I totally get that. It's like we all dug deep and found that inner strength.
Exactly.
I think that collective spirit was so important this year. The way people were willing to help each other out. Reminds me of that line from the source. Even in the darkest of times, the human spirit has an uncanny ability to find the light.
That's a good one. And that really gets to the heart of what we've been talking about today. You know, even when things feel chaotic and uncertain, there's something really beautiful about the way humans connect and find strength in each other.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into 2024, let's hold on to those lessons. Let's remember those connections. And let's keep finding those moments of grace that make life so rich.
And let's step into the new year with open hearts and open minds, ready to embrace whatever comes next.
This has been such a great conversation. I'm so glad we had this chance to reflect on the year together.
Me too. Thanks for having me.
And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us on this journey. And as you head into the new year, may your own tapestry be filled with vibrant colors and stories that inspire you. Keep reflecting, keep growing, and keep sharing your light with the world.